This was a pretty interesting episode of Smackdown. Now, don't get me wrong, it wasn't good by any means, but it was interesting nonetheless. So this was only a 1 hour, 30-minute long Smackdown. This was like a pre-recorded show, I believe. So this happened already and we're just seeing it now. But anyways, though, on this show, we had a lot of nothing happen, but we did have cool moments. My favorite part of the show definitely has to be the main event. That Survivor Series tag team elimination style match was so good. With Team Solo and Team Sami Zayn going at it, that was really good. That was probably my favorite part of the show. That was probably the best part of the show, as a matter of fact. But besides that, though, nothing much else really happened. We had a Chelsea Green inauguration ceremony, basically, and that was silly. It basically meant nothing, led to nothing, and it happened for no reason. And even right now, while recording this review, I still can't tell you what the purpose of it was, what the meaning behind it was. This was just silly and a waste of time. But besides that, though, this show, like I said, it ended very early. It ended 30 minutes earlier, and we had a little cool portion of the show. It was the main event. We had a last 30 minutes, commercial free, no ads, no nothing. So I really enjoyed that for what it was. But besides that, though, on this show, we basically just saw John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament matches, Jey Uso versus Rusev, as well as LA Knight versus a surprise competitor, and the surprise competitor was The Miz. So that was that. I found that choice really odd because Miz got eliminated already. And I remember complaining that The Miz should not have been eliminated so early and he got put back in the tournament. I was like, that's kind of weird. It's kind of weird. Like, I'm not opposed to the decision whatsoever. I do like the fact that The Miz was back in it, but it was just very weird. I know that Sheamus is injured and he had to do something quick, but like putting someone back in who was already eliminated doesn't make too much sense. At least give somebody else the opportunity, give like a fresh face opportunity, like a fresh star, maybe somebody down from NXT. Boba Fett, for crying out loud. But they just put The Miz back in, which was whatever. I don't really mind it too much. I just thought it was an odd decision. But anyways, though, besides that, we also got an advantage match for Survivor Series War Game. It was a women's War Game Survivor Series Team Advantage match, and it was Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. We also got that. And like I said, for our main event, it was none other than the men's Survivor Series style type of elimination match. And it was Team Sami Zayn versus Team Solo Sikoa, the MFTs, versus Sami Zayn, Motor City Machine Guns, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Rey Fenix. And like I said, that was probably my favorite part of the show. That was probably my favorite part of the night. It was, as a matter of fact, my favorite part of the night. But anyhow, though, besides all that, the rest of the episode, it didn't really matter. It wasn't really too important. Most of the matches weren't really that good. So it wasn't that much of a crazy show. It wasn't anything too special, too unique. It was whatever. Definitely watchable. I did enjoy the fact that we didn't see too much filler. We just basically got straight to the action. It was match after match after match. So not too much nonsense to watch. So that was that. I did enjoy that little aspect. But besides that, though, that was your show this week. So we're just going to jump right into a review, right into a breakdown, because there's not really much to talk about, just the matches and like one segment, I believe. So we're just going to jump right into it. But before all that, though, as always, our quote of the day. Quote of the day: you don't need to have it all figured out. Just be 1% better and 2% sillier than yesterday. I am able to do all things through him who strengthens me. Philippians chapter 4, verse 13. That is your quote of the day. Now let's get right into this video, right into this review, right into this breakdown. Now, we started off this episode of Smackdown with a John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament match, and it was Jey Uso versus Rusev. And let me just say, the entrances we got from both Jey Uso and Rusev combined was way longer than the match. This match was a very quick match. It basically ended quicker than it even started. This was a really quick match, and on top of that, it was boring. It wasn't anything special, anything unique. This was a standard, basic match. And the crowd was hyped for the entrances, but as soon as the match started, they were kind of dead silent for the most part. They kind of got loud again when Jey Uso did some splashes, some spears, but besides that, though, the crowd was kind of bored, in my opinion. This was not a good opener match. But I gotta give credit where credit is due nonetheless. Jey Uso did do his thing. He didn't botch this match at all. Not that I noticed. So that was really good on his part. And Rusev, I guess Rusev was there too. He brought back the cursed shorts, the cursed wrestling trunks that I said he needed to burn. So we had to suffer through that again, but it's whatever. But anyways, though, at the end of the match, Jey Uso ended up hitting a spear and an Uso splash on Rusev for the win. And Jey Uso is going to be advancing in the John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament. So that's that. I'm pretty sure he's going to go on to face LA Knight. So that's that. Pretty cool in my opinion, I guess. And on the other side of the bracket, we're going to get Gunther versus Solo Sikoa. So winners of those matches will go on to the final. Anyhow, though, after this, we ended up getting a Chelsea Green inauguration ceremony. And Chelsea Green was basically in the ring, and she was celebrating the fact that she was the first ever and fourth ever Women's United States Champion. And she was basically in the ring just celebrating, saying that I am the youngest, also the oldest first United States Women's Champion, and also the very first fourth Women's United States Champion. And that was that. She was basically drinking in the moment and celebrating it. And this was kind of lackluster in my opinion, because I felt like in the past couple of weeks, they made a big deal out of it, saying that Chelsea's going to have this big, elegant, exclusive celebration. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be flashy. And I was kind of looking forward to it in the sense of I wanted to see what they're going to do with it, how big, how grand it was going to be, but it was kind of disappointing if I'm being honest. It was really lackluster. So Chelsea Green basically came out and cut like a basic promo, and after that, her celebration got cut very short by none other than Jade Cargill, and Jade Cargill ended up coming out and she viciously attacked and beat down both Alba Fire and Chelsea Green, and she left both of those ladies laid out. And that was the whole segment. That was it. She didn't even cut a promo, so she basically attacked Chelsea Green for no reason because there's no feud between them. She basically just said that the whole women's locker room is on notice, so you better watch what you say around here because I'm in charge. And basically, she's just trying to keep everybody in check, I guess, and that was the whole point of that. I don't know, but that was that. Anyways, though, after this, we went on to get our second match of the night, and it was another John Cena Last Time Is Now tournament match, and it was LA Knight versus a surprise competitor, and as I already spoiled, the surprise competitor was none other than the A-lister, The Miz, the two-time Grand Slam champ. And like I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not really too opposed to this decision because I really did want The Miz to still be in this tournament, so I wasn't too mad at it. I just thought it was kind of a weird choice and a wasted opportunity a little bit. But nonetheless, so I did think this was neat, so I wasn't really too mad at it. But this also means that The Miz is the only competitor in this tournament to be eliminated twice. So that's kind of embarrassing if you ask me. Imagine being eliminated twice in the same tournament. That's crazy work. But anyhow, though, this match was pretty alright, I guess. It wasn't anything crazy, but both LA Knight and Miz did do their best, and they did try to put on the best match that they could, I guess. So it was alright for what it was. But I did definitely think that it could have been a whole lot better, especially from both The Miz and LA Knight. But I'll take what I could get, I guess. But this match wasn't anything crazy, anything memorable, anything you'd even go back to watch. But anyways, at the end of the match, we got LA Knight hitting a BFT on The Miz for the win, and LA Knight eliminates The Miz, and The Miz is eliminated for a second time in the tournament, and LA Knight is going to be advancing, and like I said, he will be facing off against Jey Uso next week, and Gunther will be facing off against Solo Sikoa next week. So that's that. After this, we went on to get an Asuka versus Charlotte Flair match, and it was for the War Games advantage. Basically, the winner of this match will grant their team the advantage at Survivor Series for War Games. So whoever wins the match, their team will start off first in the ring, and they'll have the advantage following one another. Basically, if the heel team won, you're going to start off with a competitor from the heel team, then the babyface team, then the heel team again, then the babyface team, and the heel team again. So the babyface team is going to be outnumbered for the whole match until all 5 competitors from each team are in. So that's basically that. That's the premise of this match, for the winner to get the advantage. Anyways, though, this was actually a pretty decent match in my opinion. It was shockingly a clean match. We had no shenanigans, no interferences, no nothing. Everybody stayed backstage, which was kind of crazy in my opinion. I definitely thought we would see interferences, we would see shenanigans, maybe the ref being distracted, seeing the heel team coming out, but we didn't have any of that. We didn't even have their teammates ringside, so it was really a fair and square, straight down the middle, clean match. So I kind of appreciated that for what it was. We basically just let both of these women go at it, and these women were basically out there just trying to prove who the best woman was, who the best competitor was, who the best star was. And I really like the fact that they just let both of these women go at it cleanly. But anyways, so at the end of the match, after a hard fought match, Charlotte Flair was able to hit a natural selection on Asuka for the win, and she gained her team the advantage for War Games. After that, we moved on to our main event of the night. And our main event of the night was the Survivor Series elimination style type of match. And it was the MFTs, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, JC Mateo, and Tala Tonga versus Sami Zayn, Motor City Machine Gun, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Rey Fenix. And this was, like I said, my favorite match of the night and match of the night. Also my favorite part of the show. This was really good, really entertaining. I really liked the match stipulation, and the in-ring action was really nice. It was really snappy and very fun to watch. So this was really neat in my opinion. And everyone honestly did their thing. Both teams, all the competitors involved were really entertaining in their own right, in their own way. So I did like the match for what it was. And I did enjoy seeing something new on the show, a new stipulation, a new match type, and they didn't save it for like a PLE or something. We just got it on a random episode. So I really enjoyed that for the most part. Anyways, though, the eliminations for this match occurred in this order. We had JC Mateo eliminated first, then Shinsuke Nakamura, followed by Tonga Loa, followed by Alex Shelley, and then Chris Sabin, as well as Rey Fenix. And at the end of the match, it came down to Sami Zayn facing off against the MFTs on a 3-on-1 face-off. So it was basically Sami Zayn facing off against Tama Tonga, Tala Tonga, and Solo Sikoa. And at the end of the match, Tama Tonga ended up getting eliminated by Sami Zayn. Then Tala Tonga got eliminated via countout, and then it came down to Superman Zayn versus Solo Sikoa. And let me just say, Superman Zayn, Super Zayn, he went on to eat everything that Solo Sikoa threw at him. He kicked out of everything. And I'm like, man, if Sami Zayn is this tough, if he's this strong, why isn't he world champion at this point? Because man, he was tanking every move, every finisher, everything. He was just kicking out. And I'm like, this was crazy. But anyway, so after Superman Zayn basically tanked every move that Solo threw at him, Solo ended up getting the advantage, and he ended up hitting a Samoan Spike on Sami Zayn, a final Samoan Spike, a final nail in the coffin. and he put Sami Zayn away. And Solo Sikoa went on to be your sole survivor for the Survivor Series type of elimination match. And that was that. That's how it ended, with the MFTs picking up the win via Solo being the last competitor, the last man standing in the ring. And that was that. And after this, we got a little face off. It was our last face off of the night, the last face off of the show. And the show ended 30 minutes early, like I said, and it ended with the Wyatt Six making their return once again, and they faced off against Solo Sikoa. And Uncle Howdy ended up hitting Solo Sikoa with the sister Abigail, and he left Solo Sikoa absolutely laid out. And that was that. So I don't really know where this story is going, if it's going to be MFTs versus the Wyatt Six. I remember they were building towards that. I don't know if they're just going to resume it, if this is going to lead to the MFTs picking up the tag team championships. I don't know what's going on, but the Wyatt Six did show up again. They did make their return, and Uncle Howdy is back, and Uncle Howdy ended up attacking Solo Sikoa, and that's how the show ended. No explanation, no nothing. That was how it ended, 30 minutes early, with an eerie ending with the Wyatt Six showing up. And that was your whole show. That was your whole SmackDown. And like I said, I did enjoy the fact that they skipped a lot of the filler, and we just got the show ending off 30 minutes early, so that was neat in my opinion. But anyways, though, overall, I'd rate this show probably a solid 5 out of 10. I'll be generous. It was probably a solid 5 out of 10. Anyways, though, my two favorite matches from tonight were definitely the Asuka versus Charlotte Flair match and the main event, the Survivor Series style type of matchup. That was really nice in my opinion. That's what kind of saved the show for me. Those were the most entertaining parts to me. But besides that, though, the rest of the show basically was a bit lackluster. It didn't really matter. It wasn't too important. Especially that Chelsea Green segment. I don't know what the point of it was. But anyhow, though, that was your whole show this week. That's what we were given. That's what we saw. But anyways, though, that's your breakdown, your review of this week's episode of SmackDown. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for hearing me out. And thank you for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like to. And like, comment, and subscribe if you choose to. As always, it's been a pleasure. I'm out.